Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Happy Sunday. Come on in the room. Let me know that you're here in the chat. I know you guys cannot wait. I have been so eager to talk about this latest episode. But if you don't know my name is the Brooke Ashley. And today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 5, Episode 14. And baby, Bronwyn Newport, girl, we have to talk. Because I mean, y'all, I wrote so many things down in my notes section. I just so much to say. But I do want to shout out a subscriber who left a comment in my last video who said something to the effect of, I'm pressed and I'm hating on Bronwyn and Todd's marriage. And I want you to come to the front because on what planet is anybody hating on that? When Dr. Wendy said in season 6, when it was Giselle's that party at her teardown, and Wendy said, hating on what? Hating on this? So yeah. Hey y'all, come on in, come on in. Oh, thank you so much. Come on in, baby. Yeah, so we are going to be getting into Bronwyn and Todd's marriage because that confession on the yacht, I have too much to say. Yes, y'all, I was waiting for this. I was waiting for this too, y'all. Absolutely not. Exactly. I said hating on what? Because all I see when they went to Sheree's Chateau Sheree before she built it, and they said all I see are sticks. And when it comes to that marriage, all I see is sticks and foolishness and craziness. So yeah, I don't want that. If that's all that's out there, I will gladly stay single and mingle. Yes, we're going to talk about the after show. I have a lot to say about that too. But Bronwyn is now pee popping and backpedaling, as a lot of folks have said in the past, because I'm not buying this newfound thing of, oh no, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant that, it was an emotional thing. I don't believe it. But you know what, y'all? Let me not jump ahead. Let's just get right on into it, okay? Because we have a lot to discuss. So we start off this episode with it being day 2 of them in Mexico, right? They're in Puerto Vallarta. So it's cute. We see them all getting ready for the day. Lisa Barlow sends them a group text saying that they're going to be having, a breakfast at the villa, and then there's a yacht ride at 11 a.m. So now we see Bronwyn getting glammed up. She's on FaceTime with Todd. And she's, telling Todd about what happened last night, how she was upset, and how Lisa made her feel like she was a snob and ungrateful. And Todd says, well, that's a stupid thing to say. Is it just me? But I've noticed that every single time when Bronwyn is telling, the arguments that happened between her and the women in the group, Todd seems like he could care less because the responses always seem fueled in anger and just annoyance. Is it just me who notices that? But he's talking to her like he just wants her to get off the phone. That's what it feels to me. Yes, we see each other. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, it's a beautiful sunny day. I said, let me just, spruce up today and wear something bright. Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you. Thank you, guys. You guys are very sweet. So now we see Angie, Whitney, and Heather doing water aerobics. And one thing about me, I love a good workout. Water aerobics is that girl. Okay, you really get that workout in. So it was funny seeing them, doing all the arm exercises. Angie has no rhythm. She's so funny. And then it was funny hearing that Whitney said that every time they go on vacation, her husband Justin makes them all do water aerobics with the seniors. So, and also don't sleep on water aerobics. That's a good workout. You will burn some calories doing that. Okay, like it's an intense. It looks like it's just fun and games, but no, you will burn some calories doing some water aerobics. Oh, did I remake my Twitter? Yes, I did. Okay, don't be upset with me, but I'm back on Twitter because the Bravo engagement on Twitter is just out of this world. It's that girl. It is that girl. I'm back on Twitter, honey. The Brooke Ash. Child, I'm back on Twitter, child. I did all that. I did all that hollering, and here I am back. Yes, y'all. Oh, come on in. Yes, water aerobics is that girl. Like, you will really get a good workout in. So now they finish water aerobics and they sit down and talk about Bronwyn. So you have Heather saying that she felt bad about, hearing Bronwyn and, the whole dog bite situation. And now we cut to a flashback. And side note, I wish that production would have shown this scene in the last episode, but the fact that we saw it now made it even worse. So we see the flashback, and they're asking Bronwyn about the bites, and, I'm sure how she was nervous. And so Bronwyn reveals that she went to the ER and Todd would not even come to the ER to make sure that his wife was okay. So she says that she keeps calling Todd. He's not picking up his phone. She had to call his assistant and tell them, I'm going to the ER and I feel like I'm losing my arm. So now she says Todd called back saying, I feel like it's just a scratch, like you're going to be fine. Now, when I tell y'all I'm a bit biased, and maybe it feels like I have magical thinking, because I grew up seeing my dad worship the ground that my mother walked on. My dad did not play about my mom. He didn't play about us. If one of us had to go to the hospital for anything, and my dad was a lawyer. He was a busy man, he was successful, but he would drop everything for us. My mother, like, he adored my mom. So I have a hard time watching these husbands not show any concern for their wives. Like, that's weird to me. The fact that his wife is calling him, she's in the ER, scared to death because a dog mauled her, bit her up, bit her whole entire leg up, bit her arm all the way up, and he's talking about, well, it's a scratch, you'll be fine. Sir, if you don't get your old sour, you know what, because you can't curse like the first 10 minutes of YouTube, so I'm keeping it cute. But sir, if you do not pick up your old sour behind and get to that hospital and see your wife, what are we saying here? Bronwyn, how do you accept that? But he's telling her it's a scratch, you'll be fine. So then we find out that her daughter Gwen FaceTimed Todd and was like, here, like, look, it's actually worse than you think. And then she says that Todd says, oh, that does look pretty bad. So my question was, when he realized that it was actually bad and that she could possibly be facing infections, he didn't think to come and see her. I was so shocked, y'all. I just said, that is not that's not marriage goals to me. And I'm not somebody who feels like just because you marry wealthy means that you have to forego consideration, love, and respect. The two are not mutually exclusive. And I don't want to get preachy. This is not about man or finding a man. That's not what this is. But I'm just saying, if you are out there looking for somebody, please do not think that you have to settle for crumbs just to have somebody with a few dollars in their pocket. You can have everything that you want. I don't believe that you have to have all these trade-offs. If he's rich, then he's ugly, or he's a horrible person. Like, no, you can have somebody who's attractive, good looking, treats you right, considerate, faithful. Like, I don't know, it's very aggravating to me that Bronwyn seems to be in this messed up marriage and then she's blaming herself. So that really pissed me off, finding out that this man did not go and see about his wife in the hospital. That's ridiculous. So anyhow, Heather says that when Lisa described their marriage, she told her that Todd is obsessed with Bronwyn. And she says, so far, I don't see that. He seems like he's mean to her and he dismisses her. And I don't see the respect and the love. And I said, now, Heather, I've been on your behind all season long. But when you're right, because I don't see the love, respect, or adoration either in that marriage, because there is none. It's one-sided. Todd treats her like she's nothing, and Bronwyn happily accepts that. It's ridiculous. So now, Heather goes on to say that she can relate to Bronwyn because she was in a marriage that was the same. She says her ex-husband was the king. He was so funny and handsome. And even if he was bad or an asshole to her, she was supposed to be happy just to be married to him because he wasn't cheating on her or addicted to drugs or porn. She should have been just happy to have a man. So she says, I feel sad for her. And now Heather goes on to say that she still has wounds from her marriage, right? So she goes on to say that she put herself on the back seat in her marriage, and it stings when she sees husbands being dismissive of their wives. So she goes on to say that she feels bad that she didn't notice this earlier with Bronwyn, and how Bronwyn might have more going on. Now, may I just ask y'all, just let me know your thoughts in the chat. I don't like that mindset of you don't like a person off rip, but now you feel some sort of sympathy for them once they bare their soul or once you see that their situation isn't perfect. It gives big hater energy because I don't understand why you were so hard pressed to get to know Bronwyn anyway. Now all of a sudden you kind of like her because you notice that her marriage isn't all that it seems. Is giving jealousy. And I've called this out since the beginning that Heather is low-key threatened by Bronwyn. Because you could have found all this out had you gotten to know that lady, but instead you want to be evil to her for no reason. Yep, Heather Gay is ass backwards. Heather Gay is unpredictable. She is. Heather is always seeking a moment. Heather needs Bronwyn to be less than. Yes, trauma bonding. Yep, Heather is still a big old hater. She sure is. She sure is. She can only like her now that she doesn't feel as threatened. Oh my gosh. Let me say that again, please. That is so true. She can only like her now that she does not feel as threatened. That's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. It's horrible. Heather is volatile. Remember what she did to Monica? Yes. Is disingenuous. Exactly. I hate that. Yes. And y'all, we're about to go in on Heather because what Heather was saying on the after show, I was floored. I said, Heather, you have all this hate in your heart for this lady, and it makes no sense. It's crazy. But anyhow, we see. But anyhow, we have Whitney asking when's Mary getting there, and Angie says she texted me from the airport. She'll be here later this afternoon. So they get up to eat, and now we cut to them going on the Sprinter van to head to the yacht. Because remember, Lisa got a yacht for them. They're having a cute yacht day, so that's going to be fun. So Lisa gives them these cute canvas tote bags, and they have VIDA all over them. Now, one thing about Miss Lisa Barlow, she is going to self-promote herself every chance she gets, honey, because in the episode, we saw VIDA tequila plastered all over, especially at that dinner at the end. So Bronwyn says, obviously, Lisa thinks that I'm too bougie and spoiled, but as a grateful guest, I'm going to sit here and take the canvas bag. So now she throws some shade saying, I just don't know. Why would I use what am I going to use a canvas bag for? And one of the producers is like, well, don't you go grocery shopping? So Bronwyn's like, no. Bronwyn said, honey, I'm too rich for that. We Instacart over here. Now, I'm not going to hold you. I love shopping, but for some reason, grocery shopping is the one piece of shopping that gets on my nerves. I am an Instacart girl. I like paying for convenience, okay? So I'm the same way. I like to Instacart. I'm an Instacart girl, all right? But I will go to the grocery store sometimes because I don't like to feel like, okay, I don't want the delivery person to forget something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what? Sometimes it's good to just get up and go to the grocery store, but most times I will Instacart. Yep, we're the same way. Use it to pick up. Yep. I love grocery shopping. I don't trust Instacart. I love me a good canvas bag. It's necessary. Yes, I love the Instacart app too. Yeah, when it comes to veggies, I don't mind it. That trip was a brand thing, not a true girls trip. The villas and everything looked very nice, but we know what it is. Yep. So now they're on the Sprinter van, and they're on the Sprinter van, and Meredith is sleeping on the Sprinter van. Whitney's asking if she's okay, and Meredith is like, I'm just closing my eyes because I didn't sleep that well the night before. So now we cut to Brittany, and she says, I'm not surprised that Meredith is exhausted today, because we see that at breakfast earlier on, Brittany told Heather that in the middle of the night, she heard Meredith crying and throwing up. So she goes on to say that something's off. Now I said, Brittany, the girls have been whacking you since the first episode. You need to learn how to leave well enough alone. Whether you heard Meredith crying, throwing up, whatever she was doing, that's none of your business. Leave her alone. And why are you gossiping? I'll be damned if I'm on a trip and somebody's monitoring what I'm doing in my room. Mind your business. And that's why, I'm not trying to make this about me, but that's why I'm not a fan of girls' trips anyway, because people act weird. Why are you focusing on what I'm doing in my room? That's just weird behavior. It's weird. Yeah, Brittany just can't help herself. Bronwin said on Watch What Happens Live. Oh, no, don't. We're going to talk about what she said on Watch What Happens Live. We're going to talk about that because I don't believe it. I think that she's trying to save face now, but we're going to talk about that when I get to that part. I think Brittany enjoys the girls going off on her. I think so, too. Brittany is over the top and messy. Brittany's making sure she gets her camera time. That's true. If she actually cared, she would have knocked on Meredith's door to check in. Exactly. So now they get off the van. They're headed to the yacht. And it was funny because Meredith was struggling to get off the van. So Angie actually helps her off. She's like, walking her to the yacht, and they all start clapping. And then Heather makes a joke saying women supporting women. And we all know the history between Meredith and Angie. It's been tense between them since season 3. So to see Angie help Meredith off the van, I said that was cute. So we are on the yacht. They're making drinks, margaritas, of course, with VIDA tequila. And Lisa's like, let's toast to the best day ever. So at first, the boat ride starts off fun. They're dancing, being silly, just laughing, having a cute key. And then here's where things take a turn. Lisa starts off by talking about her little angel baby Henry, her youngest son. We all know that he was having a hard time making friends, especially since his older brother Jack is on his missionary trip in Colombia. So Lisa says that her and John will take Henry out on dates. They have a nice time. He loves the fact that the focus is all on him since he's the only one in the house. And she goes on to say that she's just having a good time. She's happy that her son Henry is adjusting because, again, he is in middle school now. He was having a hard time making friends, but now he's adjusting well. So they're all cheering Lisa on about this news. And then Heather makes a joke saying it's the year of Henry. So as she's gushing about her son, Brittany interjects. And I already knew what type of time Brittany was about to be on. I already knew. So Brittany's like, oh my gosh, guys, I told you guys a story about my daughter, Olivia, last night, and it was a big deal for me, and it was crickets. So they're all like, wait, girl, what are you talking about? Lisa was like, wait, what? I'm so confused right now. We're talking about Henry. Lisa's not here for this interruption. So now you have Brittany talking about last night when she made her big announcement about how her daughter is finally talking to her after not speaking to her for 6 months. That was a big deal, and everybody brushed past it. So she goes on to say that this group is not supportive of her. And Angie's like, Miss Mamas, we were talking about Henry. Now you're making it about you, and you need to stop. And I said, please whack her again, because Brittany, we're not talking about you. And I'm wondering, did Brittany not receive enough attention as a child? Because the attention seeking, the constant need to say, what about me? Why aren't you guys talking about me? The constant announcements about stupidity, it's giving that something went left in her childhood and she was feeling like she wasn't enough, because this attention seeking behavior is alarming. It's awkward though with her kids because we really don't know the situation. Yes, she wants a table full of moms to congratulate her for talking to her daughter. Exactly. And one of y'all made a great point. Brittany wants a pat on the back when she's a deadbeat mother. You want a pat on the back for the basics. You told us earlier on that the reason why your kids don't speak to you is because you put men before them. Lady, you're the one at fault. Don't act like it's some weird circumstance that has caused your daughters to be apart from you. You willingly chose men over your daughter, and that's why they don't speak to you, rightfully so. So nobody's going to clap for you over this. It's just so stupid. Who's clapping for this? It's like, what are we talking about? Yeah, it's like, Brittany, you're a mom. Congratulations. Exactly. She probably was neglected. Yes, that's what it's giving. She's trying to be the victim. She had all season to explain and explore this. Yes. Yes, she does not realize how kind the other ladies were by not speaking their true feelings to Brittany in that moment. Yes, because they're trying to bite their tongue. They're all trying to dance around the fact that Brittany is a deadbeat mom. That's why they're not saying anything. But she's too dumb to realize that that's why they're quiet. It's not about hating on you or not being supportive. It's about, girl, this makes no sense. And you sound crazy. You sound ridiculous. Yes, like a man wanting praise over paying child support. Exactly. I have a mother like Brittany who only cares for what men she's with and wants to play victim. She doesn't deserve people to pat her on the back for doing the bare minimum. Exactly. I mean, I'm very sorry to hear that. I was responding to the last part of your comment, but yes, she does not deserve a pat on the back for doing the bare minimum. And I'm sorry to hear that your mom is similar to Brittany. That's upsetting to hear. It's very sad. Britt is the same archetype as Monica's mom. Yes, she wants us to praise a fish for swimming. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So anyhow, Brittany's whining about how nobody's clapping for her, and Bronwin was everything, because Bronwin says to her, Bronwin says, Brittany, do you like the idea of saying that you have an announcement, or do you actually like the idea of seeing your daughter? So of course Brittany's pissed, and she's like, you are such an effing bitch. I can't believe you. And then she's like, why do you always have to be a troublemaker? Brittany, nobody's being a troublemaker. Bronwyn is telling the truth. What she asked you was a valid question. Do you care more about receiving praise for being a parent and doing what you're supposed to do? Or do you care about actually repairing the relationship with your daughters and actually wanting to see them and be with them and be in their lives? Because it looks like you just want praise from everybody else. That was a legit question. You're just so immature and you're so self-absorbed that you think that everything is an attack. This is wild to me. Yes, she needs to grow up. Bronwyn was being a little too real. Well, that's what Brittany needs to hear. That's what Brittany needs to hear. Bronwyn said what everybody was thinking. Exactly. It was true. I love that she said that, because it's like, I don't think that Brittany really does care about repairing the relationship. I think that she cares more about getting praise from this group of women. Hey, Niecy Badass, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Brooke, in my opinion, the same energy Bronwyn's giving Lisa is the same energy she needs to give Todd. Yes, she is using Lisa as a punching bag at this point. I agree with that. We're going to talk about that in just a minute, I promise you, but I agree with that 110%. Brittany needs some real rawness in her life. She does. And Brittany is what? Brittany's like 47, 48. She's too old to be acting like this. I'm not saying that that's old, but I'm just saying that that's good and grown. You're almost 50. You should know better. Like, what are we doing here? So now, Bronwin addresses Lisa. And I want to piggyback off of what you just said, Niecy Badass, because I agree 1,000%. Bronwyn goes off on Lisa and she's like, Lisa, the fact that you let her call me a bitch, why do you do that? Then she says, if somebody called Lisa a bitch and I heard it and I didn't stand up for her, I'd be hearing about it until I was dead. So she goes on to say, Lisa, we've been friends for 10 years. You've let her call me a gold digger, a trophy wife. So Lisa's like, what am I supposed to do about that? Like, girl, it's not my fight. Now, I see both points. Do I think that Lisa is out of line to not jump in and defend Bronwyn in this group? I do, only because we have seen in previous seasons that anytime Lisa is attacked, she feels slighted when her friends don't go up to bat for her. So I do feel in this moment that Bronwyn was not off base to say, girl, you never have my back, because it is true. Lisa gets upset when you don't have her back when somebody attacks her. So I do get Bronwyn's point. But Bronwyn, I'm going to tell you just like this. I need you to stop begging Lisa for something that she cannot give you. Lisa is not that kind of friend. And she's just not. And I want all these women to stop begging Lisa for validation, for friendship, for this deepness. That's not going to happen. Lisa is very surface level, shallow. She just wants to party with you, go out to hot restaurants, travel, talk about things, and that's fine. There's no judgment about that. I have superficial associations too, where when I'm with that person or that group, we go out to eat and talk about, gossip and mindless things. That's fine. You have different friends for different things. But their issue with Lisa is that they keep trying to put Lisa in this box, and they're trying to make this friendship deeper than what it is. And it's just not going to be that. And I need Bronwyn to stop begging Lisa for this level of loyalty that Lisa cannot give her. At some point, you have to stop blaming the other person and take inventory and responsibility and realize this person cannot give me what I need. And I need to stop trying to put a square in a round box. Or what is it, a peg in a square box, whatever the saying is. I just need them to stop begging Lisa for this loyalty and this level of love and commitment that she cannot give them. And it is what it is. It is exhausting. Bronwyn's not getting the critique that she deserves, but she has a lot of heat for other people. But Lisa is not stepping up to the plate to Bronwyn the same way she demands from. No, I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But I think that when it comes to, listen, you have to know your friends, you have to know your acquaintances, you have to know the people around you, right? When you come to terms with the fact that that person will never support me the way I want to, they're never going to love me the way that I want to, life becomes easier. They're still expecting something that Lisa has shown them time and time again that she can't give them. If they would accept this, they would fare a lot better. And yes, Lisa is hypocritical. And I do think that Lisa is not a good friend. But at the same time, once you come to that realization and you come to accept it, you can move on and stop begging somebody for what they can't give you. I don't know. It's just, I just feel like it's a twofold situation. I agree that Lisa does not have Bronwyn's back, but at the same time, I need for Bronwyn to realize that, wake up and stop begging. Get up, stand up, sis. At some point, you look like the victim. You look like the loser when you keep begging somebody. And personally speaking, I don't want anything that I have to beg for. That is in terms of romantic, platonic, whatever. I don't want to beg for anything. I'm not doing it. If you don't want to defend me, fine. I see your true colors and I can move accordingly. I'm not going to beg you for what you can't give me or what you refuse to give me. I'm not doing that. These ladies give Lisa too much power. And I don't mean to get off base with this. I don't mean to go on a rant about this. I'm not trying to turn it into some psychology lesson, because I'm not qualified to give that. But I just feel like these women have put Lisa on such a pedestal in their minds. They view Lisa as this god of some sort because they want to be her. And that's the real issue. That's the real root of why there's so much tension and friction between the ladies and Lisa. They are obsessed with her. That's why they feel like, oh, I feel like I'm not good enough for her, or she makes me feel this way. Nobody can make you feel anyway. You choose to make yourself feel that way. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. But Bronwyn, the moral of the story is stop begging. Lisa is not going to have your back like that. So move accordingly and move on, please. They give Lisa too much power. Exactly. Yes, Lisa's not fab like that to be doing all that. Shout out to MC Deborah. It's too much. She's taking up too much property in their minds. She's living in their heads rent free. So now Lisa is going on like, I'm not responsible for defending anybody. I chime in, I do my best. Now, Lisa, good and damn well that's a lie. You don't chime in for anybody. You sit there and you watch your friend be attacked. So stop. Let's not say that lie, okay? So Lisa goes on to say that she stepped up for Bronwyn in every situation. Again, Lisa, we're not going to lie on this good Sunday. It is Sunday, December 22nd of 2024. You're not going to sit up here and lie. You have not defended Bronwyn in every situation. The way that you turned a blind eye to Bronwyn's plight when her and Heather were going at it earlier this season, no, ma'am, don't do that. Don't do it, girl. You guys are so sweet in the comments. Thank you. So now, Lisa's like, Bronwyn, you're a big girl. I don't know why every time you're in a fight with somebody that I have to be in a fight too. I don't expect to be in fights with everybody that I'm in fights with, because trust me, if that were the case, you would have no friends. So now everybody's quiet, and here's where we get a very vulnerable moment from Bronwyn. Bronwyn says, has anybody asked me about a question about myself? I've been called two-faced, terrifying, trophy wife, not a girl's girl from day one, and it's all BS. So she's ranting at this point. They're trying to calm her down. And Heather's like, we never knew that it bothered you. And I said, Heather, you made her cry in her own home. She's cried several times about your treatment of her, but you want to sit up here and twist your mouth and say that you had no idea it bothered her? What are we saying? Like, listen, I know that you guys are on a show. There has to be some drama, but what you won't do is play in our faces and act like we're stupid. Don't do that. I just said, what's going on? The lack of empathy from Lisa was jarring. Where do they even carry VIDA? I don't know. I've tried to. The only time that I've seen VIDA is when I've been at the Bravo events. And I will say, though, VIDA is good. Like her and John did do a nice job with her tequila. You know me, I can always give the girls their 10s, okay? Heather is full of Ozempic and BS, child. Yes. I would never share my personal info to women who don't like me or not my friends. Listen, and I'm not even telling my problems to friends either. Catch that. You guys know how I feel about that. I feel like move in silence in all things, because a lot of times you open up and tell your problems to people and they are happy that you have those problems. And they're praying that more problems befall you, okay? If you have problems, talk to your therapist, talk to your mother. If if you guys are close, siblings, or if you're religious, talk to the God that you serve in prayer, or write it in your journal. Or if you have a pet, talk to your pet. All right, honey. Listen, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I don't tell my problems to people. If you do hear about a problem, it's after I've already conquered said problem and I'm on the winning side. But when I'm going through something, you'll never know. I'm gonna still show up, look like $1 million with a smile on my face. You would never know. Never. Absolutely not. I will never let any of my enemies rejoice over me ever. As far as you know, my life is perfect, honey. I never have a bad day. I always look amazing. I always feel good. Trouble? What's that? Okay, I will never. Mm-mm. All right. Like, case in point, for my OG subscribers, right? Back in 2021, I had 4,000 subscribers at the moment, at that time. When my dad was dying, the whole entire 7-month stretch, when he had been diagnosed in October and then died in May, y'all didn't know a thing. I was coming on that camera with a smile on my face beat, cute outfit on. Y'all had no idea. You didn't know until he passed. And I said, guys, I'm going to be taking some time off of YouTube because my dad died. But I wasn't coming on here saying, oh my gosh, guys, this is what. No. Listen, y'all, you'd be surprised. A lot of folks like to listen to your problems and they're gossiping about it to their people. So be careful about telling your problems to friends. I'm just saying. I know that, it's nice to have friends and all, but sometimes you got to just carry that weight, write it down in a journal, pray about it, talk to a trusted person like your parents who have your back. If you guys are close, a sibling, just be careful about telling your problems to people, because people will like to weaponize stuff against you and all that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, y'all. Okay. Just a tip from me to you. But anyhow, she says, I love a live. May I tell you, I love the live recaps because we have good conversation. I just love how we can just pivot and just talk about different life stuff. I just love chef's kiss. I love y'all right back. I love y'all right back. Y'all are everything. But I hope you guys enjoy the live recaps because I get my life every time. A mess. Okay. But let me get back to the episode. So Bronwin says, has anybody asked me about the actual real sugar honey iced tea that I've gone through with Todd? So she goes on to say, you have no idea what it's like to be a stepmom, how hard it is to navigate being with somebody who's a lot older and successful, and the infidelities that we've had in our situation. So when I tell y'all I was gagged, I was like, wait, what? Come again? Why am I not surprised though? So the way I turned my TV all the way up, I said, I have to hear every word. Angie was me in this situation. Angie turned to Brittany and she said, girl, shh, be quiet. I don't want to miss a word. Let her talk. Let her cook. Like Glorilla said, let her cook. I want to hear all this that's about to come out of her mouth. We don't have time for your announcements when tea is being spilled, okay? So Whitney's like, so how did you find out about the cheating? Child, we find out that it was a few years ago. They were on a vacation. He was texting somebody on his iPad, and Gwen walked over to ask him something and was standing over his shoulder, and that's when she saw it. So she says that Gwen came to her, told her what she saw. I said, that's right, girl. You let your mama know that your stepdad is a low down, dirty dog. So Bronwyn says she confronted Todd about it. And now Bronwyn says the real truth is our relationship is just as hard as everybody else's. We've had some very low lows that were hard for me. And I said, girl, we know. So she says, no, so Whitney says, well, Whitney asks her, what did he say to you when you asked him about this? Bronwyn says, he said it was a fatal flaw of his. And what's good for him in business is that he's never satisfied. He's always pushing for the next deal. And it's hard to turn that off when you come home. So Heather gets angry and she jumps in and she says, wait, what the F is he talking about? What do you mean you can't turn it off? That's your wife. If he doesn't stop, then he'll lose his wife. Now, let me just pause for a minute, right? Because I don't want to speak out of turn. I know a lot of y'all, I have a lot of married subscribers in the chat. I'm only speaking from what I think I would do if I were married in this situation, okay? Also, consider my mindset, right? I didn't grow up seeing that happen. My dad was a faithful man. He was faithful to my mom. So and also my mom would always say, like, my mom would say, like, she would encourage me and my sister, like, don't ever put up with cheating. If a man cheats, like, you're out. And my dad would always say, if a man cheats on you, you need to be out. Like, we got you, whatever, So I was raised by a mother and a father where I didn't see that happening. And then on top of that, they had told me that you don't ever accept cheating either, that you need to leave and that they'll support me with anything, right? So that's my mindset. I would like to believe, because you guys have heard me say that if I were to be married and that happened, I'm out the door. I would definitely be out that door if I were Bronwyn, especially knowing the fact that your daughter saw that. I think that makes it 10 times worse. And I'm like, what kind of message is that sending to your daughter that she witnessed her stepfather cheating on the iPad? She tells you, and now you're still with him? Like, I don't know. That was alarming to me. And Bronwyn, there were just so many moments in this conversation when you were sharing your story and your, what's going on with you and the infidelity in the marriage. It's clear that your self-esteem is not there. Like, it's on the floor, Miss Mamas, because just the way you talk about yourself, the way you beat yourself up, I'm just like, girl, this man has your mind gone. Because the fact that you kind of low-key blame yourself, and it's just like, I'm like, I know folks always, you think it's a cliche to say, oh, have self-esteem, but I'm like, self-esteem really will protect you from so much stuff. And it's evident that despite Bronwyn having the money that she has, she's still not happy. And it's not even about happiness. It's just at her core, there's no love there. Because if you loved yourself, you wouldn't be sitting up here putting up with all this. Like, I don't know, just my opinion. What she puts up with from, friends, Todd, it's all very jarring. She said it was exaggerated. Okay, well, let's talk about that. On Watch What Happens Live, Todd was in the audience and she said, no, it's not that. No, it was, she caught him like, writing or texting the person. It wasn't physical cheating. There's a part of me, I don't believe it. I believe that there was physical cheating involved. And now Bronwyn might feel embarrassed that she told the world and she's worried about us judging her. And that's why she's now backpedaling. But I'm just not buying that it was an emotional affair or I don't know. Yeah, we know Todd made her say that. I agree. He definitely physically cheated on her. I agree. Emotional cheating is also a thing. Yes, it is. But yeah, but I don't, but listen though, the way she was crying on this boat, I do not believe that it was just emotional cheating. Yes, exactly. She was backpedaling and pussy popping, Brooke. Yes, she was. She'd be lying too. I knew Bronwyn was insecure during her first episode when she said, some people don't think I'm pretty enough to be a trophy wife. Yes. Yeah. Oh, let's talk about that. I caught that immediately too, because why would you say that? You should think that you're the baddest thing going, like what? And then on top of that, you're married to a man who's 30 years older than you. Like, girl, what? Like, what are you huh? Yeah, Bronwyn's self-esteem is not there at all. Her self-concept is all the way messed up. And a telltale sign when somebody has low self-esteem, self-deprecating jokes. If you think highly about yourself, if you think that you're that girl or that guy, as you should think that about yourself, mind you, you should be confident. If you like yourself, You don't make self-deprecating jokes. You will never hear me joke around about myself or downplay myself ever. I'm so sorry. You will never see it. You will never hear it. I don't play about me. And anytime I'm around people who do self-deprecating jokes, I immediately make a note of it. Like, okay, that person is insecure. They don't feel good about themselves. I need to step away slowly and back away. Those self-deprecating jokes that you think are making you endearing is screaming out to everybody that the self-esteem is not where it needs to be. And she does that a lot. She does that a lot to make herself comfortable in the group. It's not a good look. And I need Bronwyn to check that immediately and stop doing that. It's so annoying. I just, oh my gosh. I said, girl, please. Y'all, if you do that, please stop. I'm telling you right now, you need to view yourself as the baddest thing walking. Okay, I don't care. It doesn't matter what folks think. You need to think that you're the baddest. And what? Low self-esteem where? Like, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that she's always making jokes about herself or her marriage. When they were in Palm Springs and she was like, oh yeah, it's dry and beautiful, just like our marriage, like all that stuff. I'm like, girl, there's something wrong. You're not happy. If you were happy, you would not be joking about yourself or your marriage like that. I don't know. I feel sorry for Bronwyn. I feel really sorry for Bronwyn. I do. So, you know, you have Heather. Now, Heather, let me read you, because you're sitting up here. I respected you in this moment because you're giving her some pep talk. You know, you're telling her about what you dealt with in your marriage. But Miss Mamas, I'm confused what changed, because on the after show, you're sitting up there talking about, oh, I can't believe Bronwyn did that. She completely embarrassed Todd and her marriage. And I think that she threw him under the bus. This man cheated on her. How does she throw him under the bus? He threw their marriage under the bus when he broke his wedding vows. So now all of a sudden you're on Todd's side. Now all of a sudden you're chastising Bronwyn. And my thing is this: if somebody cheats on you and you stay with them, whatever you do, if you want to get revenge in whatever way you choose to do so, then you have that right, in my opinion. And this was Bronwyn's way of getting back at him by putting this out on Front Street, and she had every right. How dare you say that she threw her marriage under the bus? No, she didn't. He did that. You just can't stand her. So now you want to sit up here and talk about, oh, you know, I can't believe her, and that was just so wrong. And who does that? You never put your marital issues on Front Street. But before that, on the boat, you were encouraging her, saying, oh my gosh, I understand you, girl. I feel so sorry for you. You're the prize. He needs to be up at night worrying about you, not the other way around. But now you flip your whole entire stance. Heather is a very hateful woman, very hateful. She never has a nice thing to say about Todd. Now she's on his side. Oh, okay, Heather, exactly. Heather probably spoke to Lisa about it. Yes, that's what it is. Ding, ding, ding. Heather's a very jealous person. Yup, exactly. We all know that Heather is less than smart. Yup, is giving pick me. She can't even stand Todd. Exactly. It's just so weird. I said, girl, you need serious help. So now we have, okay, so now Bronwyn is talking about, it's not his fault. You're used to what you're used to. Bronwyn, and one of y'all said it so eloquently just now in the chat. Bronwyn has the money and the resources to go and see the lady. Because for you to say out of your mouth, it's not his fault, he's used to what he's used to defend him stepping out on your marriage, it's time to go inward and focus on that self-esteem and that self-worth. Because what you're telling me is that you don't have any. What is that? Like, I was shocked, y'all. I said, again, Bronwyn, please stand up. And again, to the person who said that I was so pressed about their marriage, in the words of Dr. Wendy Osefo in season 6 of Potomac, hating on what? Hating on this? I don't think so. You must be new here, because you know my stance on cheating. I don't want a dry marriage. I want a man who's affectionate and touchy-feely, calling me beautiful all day long and touching up on me. There's none of that there. So again, what am I hating on? I'll wait. I will wait. If you can tell me, let me know what I'm hating on. Please let me know. That marriage looks miserable. Miserable. And if I'm gonna get with a man who's 30 years older than me, best believe he's gonna look like George Clooney. Because I'll be damned, you sitting up there old, sour, you don't compliment me, there's no physical attraction on what I see, and then you got the nerve to be, the face card is declining, like, oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. So sorry. Okay. I mean, he's 1 for 10. All he has is money. And I'm gonna just leave it right there. The personality's not even there. It's not even like he's vibrant and fun. He's just dry, one note, monotone. You know, he seems so cranky all the time. I'm just like, okay, my God, what are there any redeeming qualities? Let me know. Yes, he looks like the grumpy old man from the kids movie Up. He does look like that. That's exactly, yes. Or Rick Fox, exactly. Exactly. If I'm gonna go for older, he's gonna be a handsome older gentleman. I'm just saying. Goodness. You said at the very least he should have a boyfriend. Todd is gone 5 days out the week. Okay. Yo, we see each other, okay? We see each other. He's 30 years older than her, and she's chasing him, and he's not chasing her. What are we talking about? So Lisa says it's shocking to her because she's known Bronwyn for 10 years, and she's only seen how perfect her life is and how good Todd is to her. So what she's hearing is hard to process, and it's hard to believe. Now, Lisa, I said this 20 minutes ago. You're not that type of person to go deep with. So of course you wouldn't know that they were having these issues. You're only seeing the outside, the big house, the clothes, and that's it. But for you to say that, it's hard to process, it's hard to believe. How is it hard to believe? Do you see any attraction or romance or chemistry or just overall fun in their marriage? Besides the stuff, besides him buying her stuff, do you actually see two people who like each other and enjoy being around each other? Can you honestly say that you see that? Please. I mean, yeah. That's why she was jealous of Bronwyn's life. Exactly. Yep, Lisa is very surface. Lisa would never share her marital issues. Yep. I don't believe it's been 10 years. Bronwyn and Lisa seem more like strangers than friends. Yeah, it was, you know what it was? It was a surface friendship. They go out to eat, go and travel together, they gossip, they go shopping, they talk about what they've bought, and that's what it was. It was never a deep friendship. So now, so Heather goes on to ask if Todd denied it. So Bronwyn says he gave me a ring with 5 new diamonds and he made me 5 new promises to match the 5 diamonds. So you hear Lisa talking about, oh, well, that's nice. I said, Lisa, are you okay? Somebody is sobbing to you about how their husband was a cheater. They're lonely. They don't see their husband. And all you can say is that's nice because they got them a diamond ring. I've said this before, and I'm not knocking. This is not me coming down on anybody liking nice things. I love nice things. I love designer as well. But I am very aware that these are just things. And things while they are nice, nobody's saying that you can't have your Louis or your Gucci or your Chanel, love them down, right? But I'm very aware that things cannot replace respect, love. At the end of the day, things are things. Like, we're not taking any of this with us. When we die, this stuff is going to be taken or thrown out in the trash, or your kids or your grandkids or the grave robbers are going to get them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be that attached to things. And the fact that all Lisa can think about is, oh my gosh, well, she got a new diamond ring. I'm like, girl, there's more to life than that. And once again, I'm not saying that you cannot have stuff. I love stuff like the next person. I love a good designer good as well. I love me some Neiman Marcus. I love Saks. I love Bergdorf's, right? But my feet are still firmly planted on the ground, and I'm aware that stuff is not life. And Lisa's mind, it's just all she thinks about. I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, you can't just think about something else for 1 second. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. I just said, oh my gosh, that's all you can think about. So Bronwin says, oh, Angie goes on to ask, what were the promises that he made? And Bronwin says, things he should have promised me when we got married. I said, well, damn. So she goes on to say that Todd works 3,000 miles away from her 5 days a week. We all know that when she's in SLC, he's in New York. And then she says there's always a lump in the back of her throat that if she's not super supportive or physically there, that it's not going to be this, it's always going to be the same. So she goes on to say that she feels not good enough at home, not good enough for them. And Heather says, I'm just so sorry to hear that. I'm really so sorry. Like, don't feel that way. You're not. So now Meredith jumps in, and I felt like Meredith was low-key siding with Todd. Like, I didn't love Lisa or Meredith's reaction to what Bronwyn shared. So Meredith is like, well, do you think that he can't be that invested because you're guarded against him? And I said, Meredith, are you okay? Are you well? If she's guarded, she has every right. This man cheated. I'm not getting the logic. Now you guys know I don't see it for Whitney any other time, but I was with her when she said, it's so cringy to me that Lisa and Meredith are choosing to have Todd's side in this moment when it needs to be F Todd. So Bronwyn says, I adore Todd. I think that Todd means more to me than I mean to him. That right there is a huge issue. If you grew up with a grandmother or a mom who put you up on game, you've heard that the best marriages and relationships are when it's the other way around, when the man loves you more. When the woman loves a man more, it's always a disaster. And I'd have to say that is correct. I think it's wild to me that Bronwyn has her youth, a bubbly personality. She's a pretty woman, and she's loving this man more, and he's just looking at her like he could care less. I said, oh, Bronwyn, I said, girl, what are we going to do? Like, what are we going to do with you? Because, oh gosh, this man wooed her with an email from a Palm Pilot. What does she expect? Mare was too smashed to even understand the conversation. I think her reverence for Todd outweighs her actual love for him. Oh, that is a good point. That is a good point. That's yes. It's definitely giving, yes, father, husband. Yes, she does talk about him and to him like she's his daughter, and that's her. Yes, y'all, we are here. Like, oh, this chat is it. I think she might be exaggerating because why stay? I think Lisa is envious that Bronwyn doesn't have to work for her fashion and lifestyle, but she doesn't understand the emotional toll it takes. Is worse than work. Is worse than work. She needs to stop whining. It's irritating. Pack up and leave. I agree. Prestige over partnership. Yeah, it's giving that. John loves Lisa more. That's why she married him. Definitely giving that. I know a lot of age gap relationships where the woman respects the husband more than she loves him. That probably helps her bond with Mary. I can see that. I can definitely see Bronwyn getting a divorce. I see it coming because I don't think in my from my observation, I do not think that Bronwyn looks happy in that marriage. And like y'all stated in the comments, Andy has said that a lot of these women know that their marriage is on the rocks. They get on this show to create a name for themselves and financial independence. But in Bronwyn's case, it really isn't even about the money because there is no prenup. So she would get half of all of his assets. So she has nothing stopping her. So I'm like, girl, I don't know. I think that she just likes being his wife. That's what it's giving. Hey, LCM 1983, thank you for the super chat. The man should love you more because if it's the other way around, the man will always feel like he can do better. Yes, that's what that's true. Todd thinks he can do better. Yes, let me pin your comment right here. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. When it's the other way around, it's a mess. Bronwyn said she wouldn't get much if she left. Really? Depends what state they married in. Or she's scared to be alone. I get that impression too. He might ask for a post-up after this season. That's true. I don't know if she would get half because he could have a trust. Oh, that's true. Yeah, because he has kids from his first marriage. That's a good point. You're right. You're right. No, you guys are right. Unless most of his money is in trusts or businesses. Yes, you're right. That's why she needs to be on the show to get her own money and hit the road. You're right. No, y'all are right. Thank you I didn't even think about that. He probably does have his money in trust. Yes. So Bronwyn goes on to say that she understands Todd, and in most of her friendships, she doesn't know if others know 100% who she is, and it's so weird and isolating feeling to feel like nobody totally gets you. So now she says that when you don't have a great relationship with your mom, your dad is dying, Gwen is going off to college, and then Lisa says, you're lonely. So now Bronwyn says, I thought Lisa introduced me to friends, and it's been tricky with some of you, and it reinforces this narrative that I'm not good enough for anybody. Bronwyn is sobbing at this point. And Bronwyn, respectfully, I'm not being shady when I say this, but it is time for you to go and see a therapist because you obviously have a lot of issues surrounding rejection, self-worth. You don't believe that you're worthy enough. You don't believe that you're cool enough or whatever. You just have a lot of self-esteem issues. And therapy can really help you work that out because I don't think that anybody should live a life where they hate their life and they feel so isolated. Like, I really just hope that she works on her self-esteem, her self-concept, because it's not there. It's not there. And I think that's a sad life where you just feel by yourself. That's sad. And I really empathize with her. I feel sorry for her because she's clearly hurting. She needs Erica Jane's therapist. Her costume and character work make it hard to see her. Oh, that's a good point. Not you playing the tiny violins. Oh, you are dead wrong for that. That crying got on my nerves, getting some therapy. Yeah, that's a heavy burden to carry. She needs to, you know what I'm saying? That's a heavy burden to carry. A heavy burden. In their circle, Todd is the prize. That's why Lisa, Heather, and Meredith are siding with him. They are siding with the money. Bronwyn can't do anything for them business-wise if she left Todd. No, I think that she needs to get into some therapy. I'm serious. I think I give Bronwyn grace. Yeah, I give her grace too, but she needs to get into therapy. That would help her. She could really unpack a lot of her issues from childhood to what happened to her with the baby's father, Gwen's dad. She could really benefit from it. Just saying. But we have Heather interjecting to give Bronwyn a pep talk. She says, "You keep saying these negative things about yourself. The truth is, just because you're a single mom, you were taught to be ashamed, and that's BS." She says, "You're a survivor. You don't need that darkness now. You're allowed to ask for more. If Todd can't treat you like the queen that you are, you can move on. You don't owe him anything." Then she tells a story of how it was the same thing in her marriage. She didn't speak up, didn't question him, and then luckily he left her. All I'm going to say about that, Heather, in this moment, I was siding with you, but I just have to whack you because for you to all of a sudden do a complete 180 on the after show is beyond alarming. It's just weird. And I also find it funny that Heather is also somebody who struggles with her self-esteem. So to see her giving Bronwyn advice, I said, well, I mean, advice, that's good advice, but Heather, you don't really follow your advice either. But that was nice to see Heather actually be pleasant for a moment and actually be supportive. Heather is a huge weirdo. Yeah, no, she is. And she also needs some therapy as well. So now, Bronwyn says obviously she's chosen to stay with Todd. She chooses him every day, but she appreciates Heather sticking up for her. So now we have Meredith jump in, and she says, "Bronwyn, may I just say something? Seth and I had our issues. We all know that in season 1, they were on the brink of divorce, and they were both dating other people. We all remember that." So she says, "We had our issues. We separated. We almost divorced, but we reconciled, and it was really hard. We had to redefine our whole relationship." Then she says, "Everybody has their capacities, and it doesn't mean that he doesn't adore you. He might not be able to show it in the way that you need to receive it." My thing is what I said earlier on in this recap. If somebody can't love you the way that you need to be loved, my opinion, I'm out the door. I accept that. Well, no, I don't accept it. Thank you for letting me know that you can't give me what I need and what I want. But shout out to everybody. I had fun. Meredith trying to spin this like he does adore you. I'm not buying it. There at no point have I seen Todd look at his wife with adoration or love or care or concern. If he did view her in that light, she would be treated a lot better. So Meredith, again, I'm just not buying this. Todd, there's no respect there. He's not a good husband. So for you guys to be caping for him is weird. I said, Meredith, you could have just stayed over there to the side with your margarita and gone to sleep because this whole commentary was not needed. You said, I disagree. If you choose to stay with the cheater, that's advice you need to take. The way I see it is that she has not set her boundaries and what she wants because she can be bought. Bronwyn was conniving in this season's bone collector, and now that she's on a self-induced island on her own, she tells all of her business for sympathy and to walk the slate clean. Oh, I didn't think of that. What do we think about that comment? Do you guys think that Bronwyn only told this to get sympathy? Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, what do we think? Y'all, is that what it's giving? Do you guys think that? Let me know in the chat. Do you guys think that she only told this to get sympathy and to have them on her side? Okay, you said yes, yep. 100%. I agree. Yes, Brooke. I don't agree. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so a lot of y'all agree. Oh, okay, yes. Not what it's giving. Meredith has been living on loan after loan. She seeks financial stability. Yes, it kind of seems that way to me. She has been telling everybody, she's been telling everyone's business and now wants friends. It tracks. Wow. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, y'all, listen, baby, this chat is on fire. Like y'all are killing it. I'm loving this chat. Like I always love the chats, but today's live chat, y'all came, baby, y'all came in y'all's bags today, okay? Like the thinking caps are on, all right? Because I didn't even think about that. That never crossed my mind. That never crossed my mind. I like Bronwin, but she seems calculated. I love your lives because your subscribers are sensible and smart. No, y'all are on point. Y'all are on point. These last two episodes had me looking at Bronwyn sideways. Yep, her stunt reminded me of Aviva throwing her leg on the table. It was so random that she just came out with all that on the boat from nowhere after coming at Brittany. I think she came on to get divorced and had that speech prepared. Ooh. If she wasn't on the show, she would never have any issues with the marriage. Lisa wouldn't have known anything. It's a storyline, ploy, and for sympathy. Y'all did that. That never crossed my mind, y'all. Thank you for sharing that. She's pulling a Brittany. I honestly started giving Bronwyn the side eye when she was in the car with Lisa and Meredith. Yes, I did too. Because I said, girl, why would you do that? You set yourself up for failure. Yes, she wanted attention. All right. Well, now you guys have me thinking about this whole entire scene now in a different light. Thank you for all that. Maybe we are a bit cynical. We might be cynical. She's planning her divorce for sure. She said what she said because she wants allies. It's easy to sympathize with her. I've been saying this since the start of the chat. Good to know people agree. No, it's not about sympathy. She's gunning for the head spot. That's why they all pointed out how they knew more about Bronwyn than Lisa. Not only that, she reneged on the cheating claims on. Yep, that's true. That's true. Well, baby, you guys, y'all are on point. Y'all are on point, okay? Yeah, y'all clocked in. Y'all clocked in for work, okay? Clocked in. Because that just blew me all the way over. That never crossed my mind. But now I could see it. But I still do feel like, despite all, even if it was calculated for sympathy and payola, even if it was that, I still think that her marriage is a hot mess, though. Despite all that, I do think that their marriage is a mess. Baby, y'all are clocked in. So now we have Angie saying that she feels like crying because she deals with that. Now, may I ask you guys this? Let me know. Did I see this wrong? Let me know. When Angie said that she deals with this too because her husband is a lot like Todd, she says that she feels the same pressures in her marriage, like they're never resting. They're always opening up business after business. And she says she's tired. She's not 20 anymore. Was it just me? But did it sound like Angie was hinting that there might have been cheating in their marriage too? Because for her to say that he's a lot like Todd, I said, let me find out that Sean is over there doing whatever. I said, pardon me, because I love Angie and Sean. Sean seems like such a nice guy. So I'm like, I would be so upset if I heard that he was cheating. Okay, you didn't get that? Angie's marriage is different. Okay. I think she was just trying to relate. I don't think he cheated. I think she more so related to the other issues. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure. No, she means a business mind. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Because I was like, wait, because I wrote in my notes, I said, was she trying to say that there was also something? Okay. So thank y'all. Thank you guys for letting me know that I'm wrong about that. Thank you. I think Angie just meant work. Okay. She cleaned it up real quick too. True. Okay. Sean does not. Yeah, he does not give me cheater at all. So I said, oh my gosh, if she's hinting at that, I will be so distraught. She was referring to the job aspect. Okay. All right. Perfect. Good to know. Good to know. So Angie and Sean are safe. So now we have Heather asking Bronwyn if that's the reason why she has so many dogs, and Bronwyn laughs. Now I'm not going to hold you. Don't whack me for this, but that was the first thing that I thought when Bronwyn said that she had all those pets. I'm not saying that people with a lot of pets are lonely or they're dealing with that, but I do feel like there is something to be said about having all these pets in the house and your husband is 3,000 miles away. I don't know. It just tracks. I'll just keep it at that. I'll just keep it at that. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Now, Miss Bronwyn, y'all have all that money, all of that dog, you know what, on the floor is disgusting. And Andy asked you about that too when you were on Watch What Happens Live last week, and you're sitting up there talking about, oh, it's not that much. I said, what kind of answer is that? Are you okay? You're okay with walking around in a beautiful house with all that dog stuff all over? That's gross. Clean it up. You have money for housekeepers. Like, there's no excuse for this. There is no excuse for that. That's just disgusting. And I'm giving you a side eye. I'm giving you a big side eye on the hygiene, because I'm like, girl, if you're okay with your house smelling like that, that's beyond unsanitary, just gross. I would never eat at your house. You couldn't serve me wine, champagne, charcuterie, a filet mignon, a potato. I don't want anything from that house. You can meet me at a restaurant, but I would not eat at your home. Disgusting. Mm-mm. I had a roommate who was literally the same as Bronwyn. It was so gross. Yeah, it's just, it's definitely not very cutesy or demure. And then Melissa Gorga was out there defending her. I said, are y'all okay? A good point. How do you have a camera crew in your house in that condition? That's exactly. That's just so disgusting. That's no consideration. Production people have to step over all that. Like, that's unacceptable, because Heather even said, she said, you guys don't even know. When I went to her house, there was more than what you guys saw. And it was so bad that production had to make sure to like zoom out of it, because it was so much. It was all over the place. She said, I said, wow, that's just so gross. She said, we only saw like 1/10 of it on the screen. That's horrible. You can pay to train them. Exactly. Aren't dogs supposed to go to obedience school? Send them to a school to get trained. Like, I don't understand why you think it's okay for your dogs to be doing their business like that all willy-nilly in your house. Bronwyn, girl, you need to get it together, honey, because between this marriage and these dogs doing all this stuff, you have too much going on. Please. So they're off the boat. Yacht day is over. And as they're walking back to the Sprinter van, Lisa, no. The boat, as they're leaving the boat, Lisa hugs Bronwyn and she says, you're so much more relatable now. I've said this before. I'm not going to belabor the point. Be really wary of people who only like you when you share your hardships. That's a sign of jealousy, because I should not have to share my traumas with you for you to like me. How dare you? You're more relatable now because I bared my soul and told you something that was really emotional for me. I'm very weary around people like that who feel like they have to view me in a lesser light for them to like me. No, you should not have to don't dim yourself down for anybody. Let's start there. Don't dim yourself down for anybody. You should not have to dumb yourself down or dim your light to make other people feel comfortable. And I don't like how, like, for you to say, well, you sharing this makes you more relatable or more likable. No, I should not have to share with you my hardships for you to like me. Oh, so now you like me because you feel like, oh, okay, her life isn't that great. People love all that. People love to feel like, oh, your life isn't that great. Oh, okay, now I like you. No, that's your jealousy. Folks should not have to downplay their wins or their successes in life for you to feel good about yourself. If that's what it takes, then you have a self-esteem issue. Because I should not have to share times where it was hard for me for you to feel good around me. Absolutely not. And Lisa, the jealousy slipped out with that one comment. I said, absolutely not. Another reason why I don't tell people my problems, because you have people who feel like that. They feel, okay, good. Her life isn't that good. So now I feel okay about myself. Somebody else's problems does not affect you. Somebody else's problems doesn't take away from the fact that your life is a hot mess. Like, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Lisa is as deep as a teaspoon of nothing. Oh, thank you so much. She gave producer saying that. Lisa is envious of Bronwyn's lifestyle. Yes, exactly. Yes, it's very much that. Very much that. She likes knowing that she has a better marriage than Bronwyn. Exactly. That's what she likes that. Yep. My sister and I had a minor argument, and a friend of mine was like, yes, I knew you guys couldn't possibly be that close. Weirdo behavior for, why can't I speak today? Weirdo behavior for real. Yes. Folks are sitting up there. If they have a messed up relationship with their siblings or their parents, you tell them about how you and your sibling or you and your parent got into an argument. They're happy. Misery loves company, y'all. People who are unhappy with their lives, they want to hear the bad stuff that's going on in yours. Starve people from knowing all that about you. We could do a whole video on that alone. That is such a pet peeve of mine. Like when people say, one thing I can't stand, when folks say, don't believe what you see on social media. Everybody's not that happy, or they say like, everybody's not that rich, or like, oh, it's only on social media, it's all smoke and mirrors. No, some people really are happy in real life and on social media. Sometimes life really is that good. Everybody's not faking their success. Everybody's not faking their money. That's just a way for envious people to feel better about themselves and feel better about how they don't have it. So they want to act like you're lying about your success or your money or, or your marriage or your relationship. Oh, well, everybody's not that happy. No, speak for yourself. Oh, I can't stand that sentiment. But anyhow, I didn't like that comment, Lisa. You just showed your true colors. So they're off the boat. They're walking back to the Sprinter van. And Angie says, I really felt bad for her. So Lisa says, oh, because my thought was when Todd sees this, he's going to lose his mind. I said, Lisa, your friend was crying about being cheated on, and you're only thinking about what her husband's going to say when he sees this? Oh, Lisa, girl, your mind, like Lisa is just, she is so vapid. That's the word. Lisa is a very vapid individual. There is nothing in her head. It's all about money, status, things, and that's it. Wash, rinse, repeat. So they're back at the villa. We see them eating lunch in separate groups. So Lisa, Meredith, and Brittany are all eating and talking, and they're discussing the boat ride. So Lisa wants to know if they had fun on the boat, and Brittany says that it was emotionally exhausting. So now you have Brittany asking Meredith how she's doing. Remember how Brittany alluded to Meredith being sick, right? So, Lisa points out that Meredith was quiet on the boat, and Meredith says, well, I wasn't feeling that great, just exhausted, a little nauseous, and a headache. Now, once again, Brittany, leave well enough alone. Why are you pressing Meredith about how she's feeling? Why do you care? If you heard her howling at the moon at 4 a.m. in the next room, that's her business. You are so pressed to make this into something that it's not. It's weird. So now we get to Angie, Whitney, Bronwyn, and Heather eating lunch. They're in their villa. And Angie's asking how Bronwyn is feeling. And Bronwyn's like, I'm wondering if I'm crazy because I was looking at Lisa and pretty much feeling like Lisa was not supportive when she was bearing her soul. So Whitney says, even when her intentions are good, she still can't listen. And Bronwyn agrees. So now you have, pardon me, I'm sorry, guys. My throat just got dry out of nowhere. Oh, sorry about that, child. Oh, so you have Bronwyn agreeing, and then she says, it's getting annoying. It's getting annoying to her because Lisa was doing just enough to make her not feel uncomfortable, but nothing overtly wrong to her. So now we see Heather asking Bronwyn if she feels better. So Bronwyn says, you guys were the most caring and responsive. I appreciate that and thank you. So now she goes on to say that it felt like Meredith was saying, well, that's all that Todd can do and she should be fine with that. And Heather says, yeah, I noticed that too. And so Heather agrees with that and says that pretty much Meredith and Lisa made it seem like it was her fault that she's guarded. Now, Whitney makes a point that Bronwyn bore her soul to the group and the two of them are defending a cheater. And she says it hits a trigger because they've both been accused of infidelity. So now you have Heather jumping in and says they're siding with Todd because they've been there too. Now, my thing about Lisa and Meredith's reaction to Bronwyn on the boat, I feel like their reactions could have been a lot better. It definitely seemed like they were siding with Todd, but at the same time, and one of y'all just said it in the chat, Bronwyn, I need you to stop being so needy. I need you to accept that Lisa can't give you what you want as a friend. And once you fully realize that and make peace with that, you will feel a lot better. Because the constant whining about, well, Lisa doesn't defend me and Lisa wasn't supportive and I wanted more from her. Give it a rest, girl. Lisa is just not that friend. And you need to make peace with that because I can't take another episode of you whining about it. You knew who Lisa was. This was a shallow surface friendship and you want to go deeper and Lisa can't meet you where you want to go. Yes, accept Lisa for who she is. Exactly. It's irritating. I'm starting to like Whitney this season. Drink, get some, or go to therapy. I'm screaming. She is scared. She's being iced out. If she has no friends on the show, she won't be back. That's very true. Very good point. But also, hearing Heather say all this at the table, knowing that she's going to flip on Bronwyn on the after show, it's like, okay, Heather, like, girl, stop. Because you're on the after show saying that Bronwyn threw her marriage to the dogs and Bronwyn threw her man under the bus and she can't believe Bronwyn. So it's like, okay, girl, like, let's not do that. Maybe Lisa knew Bronwyn was lying. Also, Bronwyn is starting every single argument and problem, yet wants backup. Good point. As much as I hate Lisa, she's not going to change. It's true. She's not going to change. It is what it is. So now Bronwyn brings up how the same thing happened with Gwen's grandparents, where Lisa was defending them about how they have this big house and her baby's father, Gwen's dad, is so handsome, and how she just can't really understand why it's hard for Gwen and Bronwyn to get close with that side of the family. She said, that's not how I feel about them, being that they are deadbeats to my child. And Whitney makes a great point. She says it's hard for Lisa to not go past the surface, and that's what we've been saying for the longest. And I mean, I caught Lisa's reaction to the news about Bronwyn's baby's father's family. When Lisa was like, well, I know them and they're so nice and they're so this and that. I said, girl, that's the wrong reaction to have when somebody is telling you that they're deadbeats to their child. You're defending them. Like, what are we doing here? Oh, so now Bronwyn says, do you think she... Oh, so now Angie jumps in and says, when it comes to you and Lisa, there's something going on. There's a reason why you're over here with us and not over there. Sorry. She goes on to say, when you were having the conversation in that moment on the boat, she seemed not to take it as serious. I don't know. So now Bronwyn goes on to ask, do you think that she didn't believe what I was saying? You guys just said it in the chat that you don't believe that Lisa believed her and that she might have thought that she was lying. And I could see that. Let me just read a few super chats. Hey, Anne-Me Grewald. I hope I didn't butcher your name. Thank you so much for the super chat. This community rocks. The Housewives could learn from us and our fearless leader. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you. I'm like, what is going on with my throat today? I'm like, my goodness. I'm having a time, honey. Lisa is trying to steal my voice, honey. Todd and Bronwyn too. They're mad that I talked about their marriage, honey. So my voice is like going. Sorry about that. LCM 1983. Thank you for the super chat. I think Bronwyn has to accept Lisa doesn't really like her. Yeah, it's definitely that too. It's definitely that too. I agree. Yes, honey. Lisa's cursing my live stream with that dry throat moment. Listen, okay? Let me just take another sip. She believed her. She just couldn't care less. I could see that. Heather was doing damage control on the after show. Yeah, I saw that. Yep. Because the way she did a complete 180. We cut to Mary. Mary has arrived, but Mary says that since she found out about Rob Jr., she knew that she had to take action quickly. So we see the day before she went to Mexico, she took Rob Jr. to rehab. She says she found a great facility out of state. Rob Jr. was ready to go, and she did not have to force him. I loved how Rob Jr. said he can feel the trajectory going up. He feels good about it. Mary says it's the best thing for him, and she has hope for him because you can't get help unless you want it for yourself, and thank God he did. That touched me immediately. That has touched me tremendously because that episode when she had that talk with her son, that still plays in my head. And I'm just so happy that he is excited. He was enthusiastic about going to rehab. He wants to better his life. He wants to get clean, and thank God for it. So I'm sending Mary and her family so much love. I know that Mary said that he's doing a lot better, so thank God. So now we see Mary at the resort. She is greeted by their butler, Rudy. And Rudy is so sweet, isn't he? So, she goes to the first villa with Lisa, Meredith, Brittany, and Heather. And, Meredith was like, oh, why didn't you come with us yesterday? And Mary's like, well, I came today. I said one thing about it. Don't question Mary Cosby, okay? Now we do see Mary get settled into her room. Her room is gorgeous. They gave her the master suite. And now she goes to find Angie. If y'all could have seen the tear that fell from my eye, that was beautiful. I love that hug. They have a real friendship. I love seeing Angie and Mary together. And who would have thought that Mary and Angie would be so close? I just love it. Mary says that Angie's a positive person for her, her energy and spirit, and she makes her feel like everything is going to be okay. So she says she's just happy to know that when she looks at Angie, they can speak without talking. And she says she knows that she has somebody who's in this with her. She says, I got her and she's got me. I was like, oh, beautiful. I was just, y'all, I was so touched. I said, now that is what friendship looks like. I said, come through. I'm so happy that Mary has a friend. That was beautiful. Angie and Mary's friendship warms my soul. Definitely a real friendship. Oh, it is. We've come so far from no, I don't want to come sit over there. Yes, we have. It was the color purple sister moment between them. It was really cute. Say what you want about Mary, but her discernment is spot on. I'm so happy Mary has a friendship. Yes, I am too. Angie's a good friend to anybody. Yes, she really is. The way she talked about Angie and hugged her with so much love. Baby, I was here for it. So we get to dinner. When I tell y'all, this was low-key like a VIDA tequila advertisement because you have VIDA all over. I was like, damn. I said, baby, one thing about it, Lisa is going to make sure that VIDA tequila gets promoted. Whitney had me screaming. She said it feels like a cheesy VIDA tequila commercial. And then she says, but I don't know if they can even afford commercials. I said, oh, girl, the shade of it all. But not too much, Whitney. They said that you were running, allegedly, that you're running some multi-level marketing Ponzi scheme, allegedly. And they were also saying earlier this season that your stuff is from Alibaba per Meredith. So, girl, not too much about a cheesy commercial and what they can or can't afford because you're out there with sketchy jewelry, girl. Where is VIDA even sold? I think that you can, I know you can order it online. They'll ship it to you. I haven't seen VIDA in any of the liquor stores by me. I'm in New York. The only time that I've seen her tequila is when I'm out at a Bravo event. They'll serve VIDA, especially at BravoCon. They served VIDA tequila, honey, at BravoCon. They served her and hers and Kathy Hilton's tequila too. So anyhow, they're all ordering their food. Oh, they're all ordering their food. The food was coming out. The food looked so good. My mouth was watering. But Mary is talking about, she ordered the pastrami soup. They said, pastrami soup? They said, girl, what are you talking about? So they were like, oh, you mean the minestrone soup? I forgot. How do you say it? Is it minestrone? Whatever. You know what soup I'm talking about, even though I butchered the name. But she ordered that soup. So now Brittany is like, Meredith, may I ask you how you're doing, how you're feeling? So Meredith says, I'm doing good. Like, how about you? So I guess Brittany thought she was going to eat and drop and spill some tea. She says, because you were talking about being tired, and I hope it's okay to say that I heard you crying last night. I said, Brittany, you just won't be satisfied until somebody curses you all the way out on this trip. Because why are you going to bring this up at the dinner? Why are you trying to put this lady's business on Front Street like this? If she was crying or throwing up or doing whatever in her own room, that's her business. Why do you care? So now you have Meredith is upset. And she says, I was irritated and confused. Oh no, Meredith is upset and she says, well, last night I cried and I'm fine now, but thank you for asking. So she's obviously annoyed. And now it's an awkward silence at the table. And now Bronwin jumps in and says that the news got back to her that Meredith was crying and throwing up too, and that there was a lot to be concerned about. So now Meredith is like, girl, I was not throwing up. And they keep saying the word throw up. So now Mary's getting annoyed. Mary's like, can we stop saying that word? Like, I'm trying to eat my food. And I agree. When I'm eating, I don't want to hear about bodily functions or any of that stuff when I'm eating. Like, can we talk about that another time, not at the dinner table? And for y'all to be grown women in the upper echelon, you guys really show some tacky behaviors, because some stuff should not be discussed at the table. It's gross. And I probably would have cursed all y'all out. I'm trying to eat my food and you want to talk about this at the table? Stop. So now Heather jumps in and says, yeah, well, I heard the same thing too. Then I told Angie, and then Angie relayed the info to Bronwin. So now Meredith makes it clear that no, that's not what happens. And she says, I'm glad you find it so interesting for conversation, but that's not true. So she says, I was upset about the slut shaming last night and I cried. Meredith Marks, you can sit up here and play with them, but you won't play in our faces. You're telling me that you were so distraught about slut shaming that you cried about it in the middle of the night? Stop. In my humble opinion, I feel like you were crying because of the conversation that happened earlier on the boat. And you probably have some lingering feelings about your marriage to Seth because he's always away in Ohio. It was probably about that. But you're not going to pee on my leg and tell me that it's raining and tell us, the audience, that you were crying over Angie slut shaming. Stop it. Stop. Please don't do that. Stop. And Meredith, girl, I'm so sorry, but you've been flopping this season. I mean, I love the theatrics. You give us soap opera realness at all times. But Miss Mamas, you have been, the storyline is a chop. Girl, these antics, these lies about crying over slut shaming, like, we're not going to do that, girl. Just stop. I was literally laughing out loud when she said that. No, she was crying the night before the boat. Oh, yes. No, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, she was crying the night before the boat. Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. Oh, well, then I still don't think that she was crying over slut shaming. I think that she was crying over her marital issues. I really do. No, she was being shady. I saw it in another way. Oh, she was being sarcastic. Oh, I could see that too. Yes, put her pick in the Urban Dictionary for white woman tears. Oh my gosh. Oh, we have France in the chat. Hey, how are you? But yeah, look, whatever she was crying about, I highly doubt it was about slut shaming. Okay. I'm going to just say that. So Whitney's confessional shade has been on point because she says, I'm confused. They made up last night. So why was she crying last night in her room? I had no idea that she was the advocate for the sluts of America. I said, Whitney, you ate with that. You low-key chewed. Oh, I'm gonna give you that. So now Angie's asking Meredith if she's moved on with her. And Meredith says, I have moved on emotionally. I don't want to go backwards. So now Lisa jumps in to be Meredith's spokesperson. And she says, I think Meredith needs to say how she feels instead of saying, I don't want to talk about it. Now, Miss Angie girl cleared. Angie says, Lisa, we both agreed that we stay out of each other's stuff. So stay out of it, butt out, mind your business. And I said, please whack her for me and everybody else, girl, because Lisa, the same way you don't want folks interjecting and offering their 2 cents when you're into it with somebody, mind your business and sit this one out. I don't know why you felt the need to jump in for Meredith. Let Meredith fight her own battles, okay? I'm just saying. Oh, you felt like Lisa was on Angie's side by saying that? I took it the same way that Angie did. I don't need you chiming in. Just stay out of it. I can handle this by myself. That's how I took it. So now Angie says, Lisa, no. So now Lisa gets mad and she says, don't tell me what to do. And Angie's like, oh, Angie and her going back and forth, right? And so Lisa's like, what are you going to do about it? So Angie says, well, maybe I'll lunge at you. And we know that Angie loves to get up when they're arguing, especially for a moment, okay? So Lisa is shocked. And now you have Angie saying, you keep getting in the middle. So now Lisa says, do you think that, do you feel like a badass right now? And Angie says, no. And so Angie says, I'm not trying to be a badass while having a conversation. So now you have Meredith jumping in to defend Lisa. I said, oh my gosh, why does every argument in this group always have to turn into a group event? It can never just be 2 people arguing. It always has to be 2 people are arguing and then everybody else jumps in. It's like, oh my gosh, let Meredith and Angie work out their issues for the umpteenth time. It's so annoying with this group. They do that all the time. Lisa says, I think you start things and when people react, Lisa says, I think you start things and when people react to you, you miss the fact that you incite things. So now Whitney jumps in with her gripes about Lisa. And she says, Lisa, it's funny when it's your feelings, we have to care about them. But when it's the other way around, you don't care about our feelings. And that is true. We've said that many times. So now Lisa's like, you actually don't care about my feelings. And Whitney says, actually, I do. So now Whitney goes on to say that Lisa wants to be the dictator and pick and choose. And Lisa says, I get to be myself. So as they're going at it, Lisa starts yelling about how Whitney did some effed up stuff to her. And then she says, you're not a victim. You're an effing lying bitch. YouTube gets real weird with the cursing. That's why I'm censoring myself, okay? So now Lisa goes on to say, here's the thing. Everybody stay out of this. And now you have Bronwin jumping in with her issues with Lisa. So Bronwin says, why do I have to get told what to do by Lisa Barlow? Baby, now Lisa had me hollering with this. She was like, Bronwin, like, be quiet. I'll get to you next. I said, oh, not I'll get to you next. It was pretty much everybody at the table. It was Lisa versus everybody. So now Bronwyn goes on to say, there's always an issue. No, Lisa says there's always an issue. I'm exhausted. And now Bronwyn says it's the same issue. So now Lisa's like, girl, I'm effing sick of this. It's like dish, dish, dish. I try to be a friend to you, to everybody. And then she says, Bronwyn, I've been a great friend. So now you have Bronwyn bringing up the Todd stuff. She says, I haven't heard you say I'm sorry about this when I shared with you about the Todd stuff on the boat. So Lisa says, no, I did say that. I said, I'm sorry. This is so sad. And now Bronwyn's like, girl, I appreciate you liking my husband and all that. But the way you responded to what I said today, it made me feel like you don't believe me or you don't give an F about me. And you stood up for Todd more than me. And then Mary's like, she's hurt. Now, Bronwyn, I understand how you feel, but After this episode, I need you to let the dream die of Lisa being more than a surface level friend to you. You're asking Lisa for something that she cannot give you. That's just the long and the short of it. You keep begging Lisa for this friendship that's just not there. And you need to let this go. Lisa is going to always drop the ball. She does not know how to be this caring, loving friend. That's just not her. It's very shallow with her. Stop whining about her not being the friend that you need and make peace with it and move accordingly. Try to seek out deeper ties with other people in this group and not just Lisa. But I'm telling you right now, you are playing a losing game by begging Lisa again and again and again for a deeper friendship. She's not going to give it to you. Let it go. Yes, in the words of Sutton Stracke, let the mouse go. Like, it's enough. I low-key agree with Lisa. Todd and Bronwyn are the kind of couple that are toxic. Ooh, she will cry, get you to talk ish about her husband, then turn around and make you the bad one. Hell no. Oh, I can see that too. I can see that too. That's a good point. Bronwyn needs to quit that pick me with Lisa. I agree. I really hope she pulls herself together next episode. We don't want this. Bronwyn really wants support and attention from Todd. She's projecting it onto Lisa. I agree. Lisa only cares about her kids and money. That's true. Listen, I can't. Bronwyn, I'm not going to have the same conversation with you. We have 3 more episodes left. And side note, we're ending this season on this trip, by the way. Just like we did last season when they ended the season on the finale. They ended it in Bermuda. We're ending this season in Mexico. So it's going to be a very interesting finale. But Bronwyn, we got 3 more episodes left, Miss Mamas. I do not want to hear one more word about how you feel like Lisa is abandoning you as a friend. Let it go. Please. You know, you have now Angie jumps in defending Bronwyn. She says, Bronwyn, you've divulged more about your life than a lot of other people in this group. And she turns to Lisa and says, Lisa, I just met Bronwyn and I know more about her marriage than your entire life. Lisa was pissed. She's like, what? What? Are you serious right now? I talk to you about everything, about my kids, about God. What are you saying right now? So Angie says, Lisa, you're guarded and that's okay. Lisa is upset and she says, I can't believe that Angie's saying this to me. We used to be so close. I share so much with her. What she's saying is not real. So at this point, Lisa's sobbing at the table and Lisa's like, you're not really my friend and you never were. So now Mary's like, girl, why are you crying? Lisa says it doesn't matter. And now we end the episode with Lisa getting up and she says, I'm going effing home. I'm done. Now, Mary was so petty because she's like, okay, where's the dessert? I said, girl, not the dessert. But we end the episode there. Now, Lisa, I know good and damn well you are not fake crying about somebody saying that you're guarded and you don't share a lot. Yes, you have shared about your kids, about Henry, Jack going to Colombia. We've gotten a little bit from you about your family life. Yes. But overall, your time on the show, it's still very surface. Seeing how you maneuver in all your friendships on this show, I'm just not buying that you're this deep friend. All of your relationships seem very vapid, very surface. A lot of things that you talk about, it's always about things, trips, money. You know, there was one season, I think it was a season where you got into it with Meredith. You had the hot mic moment where you made a comment saying that you were richer than everybody in the group. I'm like, who says that? How do you know? And again, who says that? Like, it's just in poor taste. But I just don't see you as this deep friend. And you trying to have a moment, the crying and storming off, it didn't land for me. I just think that you're mad that you're being called out for being a vapid person. We're not going to sit up here and act like what they're saying is off base. Everything with you is very shallow. Unless we're seeing something different. Because I see you're on TikTok going under people's comments. There have been a few people who made videos about you in this latest episode, and you were in their comments saying, it's not true, I'm an excellent friend. And I'm like, baby, people talking about you on YouTube or TikTok should not get you that bad. You should be tuning the noise out. If you know that you're a good friend, as you claim, then what we're saying should not bother you. But you're in people's comments talking about, oh, it's not true, it's production. So you're telling me that production for 5 seasons is cutting you in a way, cutting things to make it look like you're a bad friend? So none of this is on you. It's all production's fault. I want these women to stop blaming everything on production or a bad edit. Production can only use what you give them. Everybody can't be lying about you being just a very shallow person. And I'm gonna go a step further. I watched the first episode of that Sold on SLC show, that real estate show that comes on right after. And you're in the first episode looking for a brand new house, right? I guess for season 6, we'll see you in your new home. But you're trying to build a new home. You're at the open house, and the real estate agent says to you, oh, I like your outfit. And the outfit was pretty. And the first thing out of your mouth, instead of saying thank you, you say, oh, thank you so much. It's Prada, by the way. And I spent so much money in Prada this summer that they invited me to go to Wimbledon for free, and they're flying us out. It was like, why can't you just say thank you? Like, what, like, it's this constant need to appear that you're the wealthiest in the room at all times. It's exhausting. And you expect me to believe that you are this great friend that you can go deep with and really talk about stuff? No, nobody's buying it. What they said was not off base at all. So you storming off, you look silly, sis. But again, Bronwyn, let this be the last time that we see you begging for Lisa to be this great friend to you. It's not going to happen. Let it go. Let's move on. Because if I have to hear another episode of you whining and crying about your friendship with Lisa, I'm going to scream. Lisa is a caricature of new money. Yes, very gauche. She is. People that have real coin. Yeah, you don't talk about it, but that's anything in life. That's anything in life. You don't talk about it. Are we saying, do I have to say, well, I'm breathing right now? Of course I'm breathing. If I weren't breathing, I'd be dead. You never have to state the obvious. But it's just, Lisa, Miss Mamas, I'm curious to see what you have to say for yourself at this reunion. I really am. But y'all, when I tell you guys, this episode, baby, I had too much to say. I'm happy that I went live because this live chat, y'all give yourselves a round of applause. Y'all did that. I mean, y'all ate down, okay? We always have a good time. But child, I love y'all. I'm going to get myself ready for Potomac later on. But thank you all for joining in. I hope y'all have fun, and I will see you all later. Love y'all. Have a good rest of your night. Bye, y'all.